All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on the real engine behind every single great company. And no, it's not their products, it's not their marketing, it's their people. We're diving deep into the world of human resource planning.
So, have you ever looked at a company and just wondered how do they always have the right person in the right job exactly when they need them? Is that just some kind of magic, pure luck, or is there something else going on?
Well, I can tell you it's definitely not luck. Not even close. It's all about a carefully, strategically designed blueprint, a plan for their most important asset, their people.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to map out the entire HR universe to really get the big picture. Then we'll zero in on the blueprint itself, the human resource plan. After that, we'll explore its incredible domino effect and see how it helps companies literally build the workforce of the future. So, before we can understand the blueprint, we have to understand the entire landscape. And believe me, the HR universe is huge. It's way, way more than just hiring and firing.
I mean, just think about all the different moving parts. How you find people, how you help them grow, how you manage performance, pay them, keep them safe. The list goes on and on. It's a super complex, interconnected system. And a system like that absolutely needs a master plan to keep everything working together.
And that right there is exactly where the human resource plan comes into play. It's the architectural blueprint that brings a real strategy and a sense of order to all of that complexity. So, what is it really? Well, at its core, it's all about using data to make sure a company has the exact talent it needs to hit its biggest goals. The real game changer here is that it shifts HR from being reactive, just putting out fires, to being proactive, actually shaping the future instead of just responding to it. This quote just nails the whole evolution. As one expert puts it, HR went from being a routine administrative job to a truly strategic one. And that whole journey from being seen as paper pushers to becoming essential strategic partners, that transformation is powered entirely by planning. And just like any solid blueprint, a good HR plan is built on three main pillars. You've got to start with strategy. That's the big picture vision. That vision then informs your policies. Those are the rules of the road. And finally, all of that leads to your practices, the actual real-world things you do every day to bring it to life. Now, here's where things get really, really cool. A great HR plan isn't some dusty document that just sits on a shelf. Nope, it's the very first domino that sets off a chain reaction, a positive one that touches every single part of an employee's journey with a company. So the very first domino to fall? Recruitment. It's pretty simple, actually. You can't possibly find the right people if you haven't taken the time to clearly define what right even means for your company's future. And the stakes here, they are massive. Get this, a single bad hire can sink a team's productivity by over a third. That's huge. Strategic planning is your number one defense against making that kind of incredibly costly mistake. The next domino is all about development. A great HR plan is more than just about today's problems. It's like a telescope looking into the future. It helps you spot the skills your team is going to need tomorrow so you can start building them today. You're closing skill gaps before they even become a problem. And as one chief people officer says, this kind of investment is absolutely essential. It's not just about creating value for the company, it really empowers your employees and gives them a powerful reason to stick around. Which, of course, brings us to our last domino, retention. You've heard it before. People don't usually leave jobs, they leave a lack of opportunity. A good strategic plan makes the future clear, not just for the company, but for every single person in it. When you plan effectively, you can build out clear career paths for people. You can align their personal ambitions with where the company is headed. And when your employees can actually see a future for themselves where they work, they don't just stay. They grow right alongside you. So all of this brings us to the ultimate goal, right? Architecting the workforce of tomorrow. Because let's be real, in a world that is constantly changing, a plan that stays the same is basically useless. Modern HR planning is all about building for agility. I mean, just look at this evolution. It's dramatic. HR has gone from being the personnel department in the 80s that just handled paperwork to a strategic partner in the 2000s. And now it's a data-driven analytical powerhouse. The future isn't just about managing people. It's about building a resilient team that can actually predict and adapt to whatever comes next. And this shift in focus is just wow. We've moved from only caring about efficiency to building resilience. We've gone from just checking compliance boxes to crafting the entire employee experience. And we've evolved from doing routine tasks to using data and AI to find some seriously powerful strategic insights.
And modern planning has to deal with massive new trends. Take diversity, equity, and inclusion. The market for DEI services is projected to more than double in just 6 years. That tells you this isn't just a social goal anymore. It's a core business strategy that has to be woven into the very DNA of an HR plan. Which leaves us with the ultimate challenge, the big question for today's HR architects. How in the world do we plan for jobs that don't even exist yet? It's all about building a workforce that's so agile, so ready to learn, that it can take on a future we can't even fully imagine. And as we've seen, the answer, as always, starts with a good blueprint.